In this video, I'm going to be telling you how to prevent yourself from becoming completely, utterly and totally miserable while you're at Walt Disney World. Let's get started. The first thing I do want to talk about is clothing, specifically shoes. You are going to want to get yourself some comfortable footwear. Training shoes, flip-flops or sliders or even Crocs. I'm not here to judge people. Find something that you are going to be comfortable in when you're covering absolutely massive amounts of mileage. Typically when I go to Disney World, looking at my pedometer from in the past, days tend to range anywhere between 20 and 35,000 steps a day, which is insane. And your feet will definitely tell you if you have chosen the wrong shoes, and it can just completely ruin not only that day, but potentially the rest of your holiday, especially if you end up with nasty blisters and things like that. I would definitely recommend breaking in whatever footwear you have chosen at home before you get to Disney World, because that is not the place to realise that your shoes rub you. Next up, I'd recommend trying to stay cool. Probably sounds quite obvious, but especially in the summer months, the heat can really take the fun out of Disney World. The good news is all of the indoor parts of Walt Disney World are in glorious air-conditioned luxury. I can feel it now. If you're getting too hot and you're starting to feel a bit grumpy, pop in a shop. Good excuse to shop after all, and give yourself a chance to actually cool down. I guarantee you will feel better for it, so make sure that you use those air-conditioned breaks. Sunscreen, put it on. If you don't, you're probably going to get burnt and that will make you miserable. On to the next one. Make sure that you stay hydrated. If you get dehydrated, you will start to feel terrible, i.e. miserable, and you will have a bad time at Walt Disney World. You will either just feel grumpy, get a headache and want to go home, or worse still, you might actually end up doing yourself a mischief. So please make sure that you stay hydrated. That will prevent you from being miserable at Walt Disney World. Okay, this one kind of follows on from aircon breaks, but take breaks for snacks or food. Guys, I cannot stress enough the power of snacks when it comes to Walt Disney World, especially if you've got the little ones with you, the kiddos. The number of times a day has been completely rescued by a Chips Ahoy cookie. Countless. Everyone's getting a little bit grumpy, the blood sugars are maybe dipping a little bit low. Just take 5 minutes, find a quiet spot, bust out the snacks from the rucksack. You will feel better. I used to hate taking a rucksack to the theme parks, and now I would never visit a theme park without one, because just the ability to carry a small amount of food or drinks with you can just make all the difference from having a really good fun day to winding up a bit.
You must be grumpy.
Okay, again, particularly relevant if you're going in summer, but plan for rain. In summer, if you're not familiar with Florida, it is a subtropical climate, which means that basically it is super hot, super humid, and most, if not every single day, you will probably get a sudden downpour of rain. Typically the rainstorms last about 30-40 minutes and then they move off. So what we like to do is make sure that we always have, this is our backpack again, you always have ponchos and stuff like that in your backpack. Perhaps even depending on what type of footwear you're wearing, you might have some spare socks or something like that in case your feet get wet, because that is going to be really making you feel particularly miserable. Or try and plan like for food and stuff like that, so you go for your evening meal or your afternoon maybe a little bit early to miss the rainstorm. Or again, there are plenty of indoor attractions. You just have to be mindful of the fact that it does rain in Florida, despite the fact that it's so mega sunny the rest of the time, and when it does rain, it really does rain. So make sure that you plan for rain, because if you get caught in the rain and you've not got any extra clothes and you haven't got a poncho, it's a bad time. This next one's particularly hard to do, especially if it's your first time visiting Disney World, but take rest days. If you try and just open to close every single day at Walt Disney World for like 2 weeks, you are going to be so exhausted and so miserable by the end of it. It is unreal. Take it from somebody who's done it. My feet still hurt from the first time that we went to Florida. It was in 1993, and the tiredness was unbelievable. And by the end, you don't know whether to laugh or cry. It's just like you're so exhausted. You're having a fantastic time, but you're just so tired. I'm not even sure you're actually fully appreciating what it is. So I would highly recommend that when you're doing your planning, in order to avoid being an absolute misery guts, try and plan for some rest days, or at least some half days where you get to just like, you know what, we're gonna go to a water park, or we're gonna sit by a pool, or heck it, we're just gonna sit at the villa and just do nothing, because you will enjoy your time at the parks even more. Well, if you've made it this far into this video, there's a really good chance that you'd like to see more. Well, good news, we've got more videos on this channel like this one here, and you can check that out right now.